share with you all. It's called a running list of the ways running has saved my life. Cool. 1, my sophomore year of high school, I was so deeply closeted that when a boy on my track team called me and my best friend lesbians, I said, "You wish." And then the next day at our track meet, a beautiful girl lined up next to me and said, "I hope you're not fast." And I said, "Don't worry, I'm not." And then I took off running so fast because I was so nervous that I got an 800 meter PR. And I learned then that running could translate movement into grace I never knew my body had. 2, there is no high like the runner's high. No better salve for my racing mind than to outpace it. Depression may have chased me my entire life, but I will keep outrunning the dark. 3, there were nights when my legs carried me away from the white van that followed me from school, from the pack of boys that followed me from the park, from the drunk guy at the party who called me a dyke all the way to the train. Thank God for the gift of building safety from air. 4, when I say running has saved my life, I mean there were years I hated everything about myself except how I felt when I was running. If the meaning of life is gratitude, then I found religion when my breath broke on the crumbling edge of my body's limitations. I mean, in just the past few months, I did 2 things I never would have thought I could. I survived losing my mother, and I ran a marathon. And there were days when grief rewrote the entire script of my life. But then I'd run by the river and collect the memories back. Each mile, another moment of my mother smiling into the sun. The way she would say, "You know I love you, don't you?" And I would say, "Yes, Mom, I do." I mean, I never thought I'd believe in ghosts, but I saw my mother during the Staten Island half and I gasped out loud. She was running next to me. She smiled so big I couldn't help but smile back. My mom is here, I thought, and it became the soundtrack to every mile that followed. 5, when I say running has saved my life, I mean that life isn't what I imagined it might be. And sometimes that feels like a failure. But when I run down the hill in Prospect Park towards the lake, my thoughts are gone. And it's just me, and maybe my mother, and this feeling I don't need to name, but it unravels from me. And the release is a prayer, and my mother says my name, and each mile becomes time I spend with her. 6, the marathon brought me to my knees. And maybe this time running saved me by reminding me I can't do it all alone. I started the day with my friends Nam and Sylvia and Ryan and Goran, and Nam was by my side the entire race. And John and Lauren and my dad and my cousin were waiting at the end. And sometimes we're taught that being an adult means to deal with your shit as quietly as possible. But grief is fucking loud, and so is a city that rises up to push 52,000 runners to glory some of us never dreamt we could earn. So hallelujah for cheer signs and cheer zones and water stations and medical tents and every friend along the way who said my name with such kindness I forgot I was still moving forward, because that is what friends are for, to make the simple act of one footfall after another as easy as breath, even when it hurts, and especially when it does.